So hi, my name is Jérémie Cyr-Cooke. I am a theatre maker and the artistic director of Crucial Productions, also an actor in our upcoming productions of Olympus Has But Snow. Fun fact about me, I cry every time that I watch Pixar's Elemental. Don't know why, it just gets me every time. Yeah, so the idea for Olympus Has But Snow kind of comes from two things that were happening at once. The first is partly from my own experience with the gym and my own encounters with masculinity. I was really curious about the idea around failure and how men especially feel towards failure both outside the gym and how it's kind of revered inside the gym, and questions around who is allowed to fail. At the same time, I also encountered my collaborator, Raphael Adams, who did a piece on gym and kind of a queer experience inside the gym. So together we collaborated and created this show. So the story follows Alex and Gany, who are kind of two bros or brothers who follow different sides of masculinity. One of them kind of sticks to the ideals, the norms of masculinity, while the other is looking for masculinity rooted in care, in vulnerability, and connection. And the two are fighting to get an invitation to Olympus by the almighty god Heracles. And so when one of them gets invited, their friendship is thrown into a rivalry that can kind of lead or seemingly lead to the destruction of the other. It's a very highly physical show. It has some autobiographical confessions. It has some really absurd humor as well in it. So if you're interested in kind of fun, slightly bizarre, but also very physical and acrobatic theatre, then please come along. Yeah, so body dysmorphia is kind of, I think, affects or can affect everybody. It's not just on men or women, although I think there are some connotations around body dysmorphia that are much more geared towards one gender over another. But it also affects men and women and people of all genders across age lines. And the gym can kind of often become a place where we can work on ourselves, both in terms of the mental health, but in terms of the way that we feel about our bodies. And gym as a space is both really positive for that, but it also has some exclusionary kind of connotations to it. So again, this idea of who is allowed to fail, who is allowed to work out and work on the gym. So one of the myths, I suppose, that we're trying to address in that is that there's only one sort of masculinity and one sort of body image that can exist inside the gym. And when two of those arrive and collide, you know, is there a space for connection over competition in that? So that's kind of what we're working on. Great question. No, the answer is I don't always achieve what I get there. What I expect often, and I suppose the pressure that I put on myself when I go to the gym is a lot of pressure. It's kind of almost this divine pressure of I need to be the strongest version of myself, and that stems from both a personal kind of a relationship with my body and my strength and my masculine ideals, I guess. But I think there's, the idea of showing up to the gym and allowing yourself to encounter that space from a place of well-being rather than a place of competition, whether that's competition with other people or with yourself. I think there's something a lot more positive around that aspect. So, yeah. So Olympus Has But Snow is happening at the Grosvenor East Theatre, which is happening on Oxford Road at the corner of Cavendish Street on the MMU campus. It is on September 3rd and 4th at 7 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online through our socials or through Eventbrite, and we hope you come along. Even if you're not really interested in theatre generally, I think there's something for everybody and something to experience.